And we are live. Hey, Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Great. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy hump day if you actually have watching this live. If not, happy day of the week you're watching it on. We're doing a little session called Wednesday's Wisdoms. And before you back out of this, let me pre-qualify this with, this is probably one of the best messages I could ever give you if you own an HVAC business or if you are planning on starting one. This is probably the biggest one that everybody misses. And it's really about motivations. Now, there's just two types when it all boils down to it. It's intrinsic and extrinsic. In other words, an intrinsic motivation, and you know these guys, they're your competitors. They're just go, 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 go. They don't stop. They're at night. They're on their computer. They're doing this. They're doing that. They just live this stuff. They love it. And whatever it is inside of them that's pushing them, they just got to keep going. And then there's the rest of us, the extrinsic. We need a little bit of external motivation to push us, which is I think it's a much healthier type of motivation, because intrinsic, these are your well, I don't want to sound too negative. It's a little bit out of balance, and it's a little bit over the top, and it's me, go, go, go. And it's hard to work for people like that. And as a business owner, part of what you want to do is to build a culture. So let's talk about the different types of motivation. One of them is affiliation and social. And what that means is it's a bit of a peer thing when you're working among other people. So, and this really works well for your employees. So if you have weekly meetings for your staff, and you should, meeting/training, you should, let's say you're rolling out some new processes for your service technicians, and you start going through these processes, and we do step 1, step 2, step 3. We do a little bit of role play, and okay, guys, go try it this week. And so next week when we come back, one of the techs steps up, and what happens? Inevitably, he or she's got a success story. Man, I did this and it worked, and it was all great, and blah, 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 right? And they share, and everybody gets fired up. Well, we go back in the following weeks, somebody else has a success story, maybe two. Well, what happens is, when you have a social group like that of peers, even the guy in last place or the gal in last place is saying, well, I don't want to, me not have one. So they go out and they start trying some of this stuff. Lo and behold, it works. And it brings up the rear. It helps all of us move ahead, and everybody succeeds. So as a business owner, this is part of your culture that you're developing, is creating this type of a work culture and environment. But where do you go as the business owner? Well, social groups like on Facebook, I actually put a link beneath this of my social group, HVAC Greatness. If you're in the HVAC business as an owner, or maybe you're planning on becoming an owner, that's okay too. We just want professionals in the industry to come, and then, by all means, jump on in and just do a request. Just look it up, HVAC Greatness, not the page, but the private group. And I'll let you in there, and you can join us. And we put out periodic trainings and things like this. Competency and learning. When you send your employees to a class and they start learning how the controls work a little bit better, maybe the refrigeration cycle, and they can they're starting to get what's happening in that evaporator coil as it evaporates off, and what superheat really is. They can see it in their mind's eye. It starts to build a measure of competency. That's motivating. I can do this, right? Like I said, controls, airflow, static pressure, air distribution. There's a whole gamut of this that we can apply on the technical side. But as a business owner, this is important for you too, right? You need to become more and more competent. Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel that organization is a problem in your business? Generally, if you look inside your truck or your van and it's a mess, that's a good indicator of how you're running your business as well. Generally, now, that's not always the case. I've been in people's vans that have everything in order technically, but business-wise, they're chaos. So there are exceptions, but that's just a good example. Isn't it nice when you go to your van and you're looking for a part and there's nothing in your way. You climb right in there, you go right to it. It's right where it's supposed to be. Isn't that nice? Versus, I've done this before. I spent more darn time looking for the part than it took me to fix the unit. You ever been there? Right. So we have to clean up our own house, and it goes for business as well. Expectancy theory. When you as a boss put an expectation out there, I expect you guys to be on time at work. I expect you guys to do this and do that. That's motivating to them. But who's going to apply expectancy theory to you? Who holds you accountable? Nobody. I'm the boss. Here lying the problem, right? We need accountability. And if we don't have it intrinsically, we need it extrinsically. If we don't have it internally, naturally, go, whatever area we're weak in and we hate, you don't want this. If you don't want this, that's a good sign that you need this. You need somebody to push you, to hold you accountable. You need this, right? That's the idea. Okay, so there's competency. Obviously, that's pretty much what we talked about with the competency and learning. Power. As you gain in power, this allows more freedom as a business. You can do more things. You have financial power. You have intellectual power because now you understand these big concepts, right? Fear is another motivation. Fear of failure. We see a lot of companies that are so afraid that they're going to run out of money. Their bank account just grows. Well, what if I need it? What if I don't have work for 2 months? What if it's for 6 months? What if it's for 2 years? I have to have enough money in there. So these are the types of things that can motivate you, but motivation is so important. If you go to the gym and you do something as simple as putting in the earbuds, putting on your favorite, workout music, your results will jump substantially. That's motivating. So the reason I'm talking about this is this is important as a business owner, because when I walked a mile in your shoes, and I walked more than a mile, I assure you, I started to grow my business. After my first employee came my second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th was my size. And I ended up selling the business went through a divorce, long story there. But the point is, going through that growth, I felt like a dad with a bunch of children running around. Daddy, what do I do? Daddy. What, you know what I'm talking about, right? It was, Pete, what do I do? Pete, how do I handle this? Pete, my saying was that these questions make me feel like a genius. You don't know how to handle this. That's the way it felt. But in hindsight, that was my fault. That was my fault because I didn't put the proper structure in place. I didn't put the proper training, organizations, reference books, employee handbooks, that everything was right there. Open the book. There's an example filled out. This is how you fill this out. This is how you fill out your service invoice, right? Everything. All of this is part of the organization of your van, the organization of your vehicle, the simplification of it, and allowing your employees to flourish. Now, but back to the original point, we have to stay motivated. I'm going to give you a sobering example, and it goes like this. What does your perfect employee look like? Let me back up. Let's go with customer. What does your perfect customer look like? The customer that when you start laying down your options, they listen to you. When you start laying out the options and you recommend, they pay special attention to that because you have their trust, because they know that you are an expert. They know that you're honest. They know that you have their best interest at heart. Yeah, they know that you're going to make money off of it, but they know that it's just a business. That's the way things work. That's why the business system works. The world of do-it-yourselfers, they don't mesh well with this. I mean, we all want to do certain things ourselves, but we need professionals in many areas. So your ideal customer is going to buy your best. And when you make a recommendation, they're going to listen to that, aren't they? These are the customers you love. All right. Now comes your reality, a law of attraction. You want more of those? Do you want more customers that are looking for your best? They trust your recommendations, then you need to become that customer. Not in HVAC, but in your world. Where do you need help? Are you going to open your wallet as easily as your customers open theirs to yours? Find the right professional. Are you going to? Top-notch accounting, great suppliers, great support, great technical training. And here's where the rubber meets the road. And I'm partial because this is what I do for a living. Business training. And we're talking about 3 different categories. We have your trainer, right? He's going to teach you these processes, or she's going to teach you these processes. We have a consultant. They're going to come in and poke around, ask you questions. And they're going to say, well, you're doing this wrong. You need to do it like this. And so they redirect you and keep you on track. That's what a consultant will do. Very similarly, and my favorite is a coach. A coach does these other things as well, but they're there for you emotionally. They give you the support. They give you the motivation. And I'm not talking about one of these classes that you go to. You fly over to this city and you sit in this seminar, and there's all these HVAC companies out there, and they listen to this really charismatic teacher up there talking about how, they built their business into $20 million, and then they went to $30 million, and then they went to $40 million, and they sold it. And then they turn around and open up another business, and they built it to $10 million. You see what I'm saying? And you can do it. If that's not your intrinsic self, that's a hard mountain to climb, but it's very motivating. I get this, but it's not realistic. Not without some external support. If that's what you want. But if you're healthy and you're balanced and you want to spend as much time at home with your family as you do at work with your good quality employees and servicing your great customers, if that family part is important, mom, dad, your wife, your husband, your children, your neighbors, your community, if that's important to you and you want to play a large role in that, then we have to have this balance. And for much of us, $2, $3, $4, $5 million business is fine. It doesn't take too much of our time, and it allows us the freedom to go into these other areas and have a significant portion of our life there as well, right? So it's whatever motivates you. It just depends. Everybody's got different goals, but the path to those are very similar, right? Let's say you bring in a coach. Let's say you bring in a trainer. And let's say he helps you identify the perfect model, the perfect module. You know what modular is, right? It's like you have this, like a tent. You have this tent, and it's modular with another one that you can connect, and now it's twice as big, and then you can add a third section and a fourth section. That's what HVAC, our program, the Success Blueprint, is about. Is building that first module, and it will get you well past the $1 million and $2 million marks if you allow it to, because what it does is it creates the proper organization designed to meet full capacity in each role played. What does that mean? That means that if your service tech is billing $1,000 a day and your installation crew is billing $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a day, whose schedule do we want to fill first, right? It's really not that hard, but we build this module, okay? And so our profits get more and better and more and better. And then they say, well, when you cross the X $1 million mark, you start to lose, and then you pick it up. That's not why. It's not the dollar amount. It's this module. Now, while that's full capacity, you're taking part of that money, and we're building module 2, getting it going. And at first, it's losing money. So it's making it for module 1, and it's siphoning it over to build module 2 as we build that until it's at full capacity, and now you're rocking. Now, with 2 modules in place that are fully efficient, making full profits, they share the burden of a third module, and it's much easier. That's why that first hump is so difficult, but it's not impossible. You just need a little guidance, right? Need a little help, a little navigation there. And most importantly, you got to get up every morning and do what needs to be done, and that takes motivation. So anyway, Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. I hope you'll join me over in my private group over in Facebook. If not, feel free to hit me up direct. I put my calendar beneath here. If you would like a free consultation, I give that about a half an hour. We can sit down, we can talk and see if you and I are a good fit. Maybe we can help you out. I promise you, for every dollar you invest with me, you're going to make that back before the class is over and then some. That is what it's about. Forget the hype and the BS and, oh, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. No, we're going to sit down and we're going to actually plan actionable items that produce real results that work. Tired of riding in that van? My best customers are in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s. Those are my best customers. Do you know why? Because they've been in that truck, just like you young guys out there, if you're listening. I used to be you, so I'm not criticizing. On top of the world. All I need is more customers. I'm rocking, riding down the road, going to the next job, right? Yeah. See what you feel like in 20 years doing that and see how liberating it feels to be stuck. It is not. When you go from saying, I own a business to, gosh, I think my business owns me, you're stuck. There's nothing any worse to be in your late 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you cannot get out of a truck. You're still under the house. You're still in the attic. You're still pulling stuff up on the roof. Your back hurts, your knuckles hurt, your joints hurt. Guys, reality is what it is. Utilize your youth to the best that you can, but utilize this in tandem with that youth, in partnership with that youth. Let's get you through the years of you're out there doing it all yourself over into a role that's called a leader. A leader. A leader doesn't need to be the best salesman. They hire the best salesman. They don't need to be the best tech. They hire the best tech, the best accountant, the best internal business manager. They don't have to be the best understanding all the financials. They're important. These are very important. And that's why a leader has experience in all these areas, but they always hire people better than them. They learn to empower these key employees through training, through motivation, through inspiration, through a career path, an opportunity to become more, a future. That's what being a leader is. And you can do it within your first module. You can do it. Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. And if you're watching the recording of this, great day of the week it happens to be, an hour of the day. Pete Ramsey here. I'll see you on the next one. And again, look at the links below if you are interested in chatting a little bit more. I'll talk to you later.